Does anyone really know who's actually signed up? According to Reuters, new data from 7 states and the District of Columbia shows just 22% of the more than 200,000 people who signed up in those states and areas are the folks the administration wants, the 18 to 34-year-olds. Well, that falls far short of the 38% the administration desperately needs to be able to effectively pay for this program. Joining us now, Guy Benson, Fox News contributor and political editor of townhall.com. Hi, Guy.
Hello, Gretchen.
All right, so we have that poll about the young people. We've talked about that with each other before. But the new bombshell that's coming out today that I've been wondering about since the first of the year is, how do you know if you're actually signed up? Because the administration has yet to put those numbers out. And I can tell you from talking to folks in my state where I live in Connecticut, people have not received a receipt that they've paid for this, and they have not received a card, an actual insurance card.
And some people, Gretchen, who have actually gotten those cards, who have paid their first month's premium, which we've discussed, is the first barrier really to entry to actually be covered. Then they get that card from their insurer. They're showing up for coverage. They're showing up for care and running into brick walls as well. I mean, there's a big New York Times story over the weekend talking about exactly this phenomenon where people think that they're covered and they're not. And this is something that should not be, it's a big story, don't get me wrong, but it's not something that should surprise any of your audience, for example, because this is something we've predicted. We've talked about this for weeks, and here it is coming to fruition, which is, I think, a very scary situation for people going in for surgery, going in for various medical treatment and being told, well, there are two quick examples, Gretchen, that we've seen in the last couple of weeks. One was a woman in Illinois. These are just snapshots. A woman in Illinois went in for surgery. Her doctor and his office spent 2 hours on the phone with the insurance company trying to get some confirmation that she was in fact covered. They couldn't. So they went ahead and operated anyway and hope that the money situation will work itself out.
Crazy.
And then in that Times story today, there was a pregnant woman, 8 months pregnant, Gretchen, went in for an ultrasound. They didn't have any record of her, so she had to pay over $600 out of her pocket for that ultrasound.
Right, because, well, obviously you're going to do that even if you don't have the money when you're that far along, and it's a life or death situation in many of these cases. It's also happening, though, Guy, at the pharmacies. I'm reading today about a woman who has asthma severely, and she was told she had to pay the full price because they didn't have record of her being covered, $187, didn't have the money, used to only paying $50. So now she doesn't have the inhaler, but she might still have the asthma attack.
That's right, and what we're hearing about in the Times report and some other media accounts that have been published in the last few days, people are being given this very distressing choice. Either A, you pay all this money out of pocket, which a lot of people just simply cannot afford to do, or you make the choice to walk away. So people are walking out of hospitals, walking out of pharmacies without their life-saving treatments or the drugs that they need or what have you. And that is what we're seeing. It's a natural byproduct, I think, Gretchen, of poor management, on-the-fly postponements and delays, and general chaos that has been sown over, this is really weeks and months in the making, because people thought they were getting signed up. There were problems with the website. Then there was that crush at the end of December.
Right.
And here we are today.